Two new rosters, two names that are synonymous with potential success in Counter-Strike, but it is NIP and North that are about to go head-to-head with some very different names in the roster. I'm already getting frowns from my analyst for putting success and North in the same sentence. Either way, and NIP, of course, they are, you know, the most recent IEM champions. They came from Oakland, they lifted the trophy, and now they've cut a man. Does not exist on the roster anymore. It had to be done, I'm sorry. Janko Paunovic and Chad Birchall joining me.
I think more than anything else, these two teams are synonymous with disappointment.
Ouch. There
you
we
know,
are.
I think the one bright spot for either of these teams is NIP winning Oakland, and I think looking at their results after that tournament is, you know, we can see that that one was probably a fluke. Rez having an incredible tournament, but nowhere near that level of form. What? It is what it is. Why didn't they repeat it if it was that awesome?
I agree. What is with these teams getting to grand finals and beating when they have no business doing so? We're seeing it
so
too much.
exciting,
It's happening too often. Cloud9 did it at the Made. This just needs to stop. Can FaZe and SK just always be in the grand final? I just want to watch that every time, Alex.
Well, you know what? It's not these teams.
FaZe fanboy, aren't you?
It's not these teams you need to be questioning. It's why they're not FaZe and SK aren't in those grand finals. They have the power to change that. It's not like these guys have suddenly becoming the world's best team.
I'm going to sit Fallen and Karrigan down and have a
chat.
good long
have
chat.
A good chin
and we'll
wag.
work it out.
But let's start with the NIP discussion, because there is a lot of I guess there's a little bit of a buzz in the community at the moment because they want to know, will it, you know, flop, or is it going to be the Ninjas back on top form? You know, like, what was your expectations when you saw Dennis signing that contract?
I think Dennis is an obvious upgrade, like, for the team, and another big change was Dennis and Pita coming in as a coach instead of Threat. You know, the Threat was synonymous with some success that NIP had when he joined in 2016. You know, them winning DreamHack Masters Malmo off the back of that, and he really changed the identity of that team. You know, giving them more structure, more discipline. I think was the most important one. So now with the loss of a coach and an in-game leader, what's the new NIP going to look like? What's their identity going to be? And I think that's the biggest question mark surrounding this team.
You have to know that Pitta was back working at the bank. He got a phone call from Heaton one day. He thought, oh, Heaton actually has an account at my bank. Maybe he just wants some banking advice. Next minute, hey, buddy, you want to come back and coach? And he's like, sure. Like, this is just a transition that basically happened out of the blue.
And managing his bank account, he definitely knows how much NIP could pay.
Everyone loves money, that's for sure. I think the question mark theme throughout the day is more so here with these two teams. Dennis, not an in-game leader, now in-game leading. It has to be a whole new face NIP. It can't be things we've seen in the past. They have completely shifted away from that core. Forrest and Get Right can do anything. Where are we headed?
And that's the problem for me. Okay, there's no doubt Dennis is a player you want on your team no matter what. But he doesn't fix some of the issues that NIP has had, even with the old roster, which was how they approach the game, what their game plan looked like, right? Some of the stuff that we praise some of the other teams for example, Mouse Sports, that's something you can criticize NIP for. So Dennis, even if he can in-game lead, he tried it before, didn't work out, you don't see him being this type of a methodical, disciplined, structured in-game leader. You can see him be a more of a, okay, let's run and gun, like the Fnatic of old used to play.
You did just see as well, Mertz's name did come up. That's because, of course, North are a bit of a kind of a converse to this discussion.
Yeah.
This is a fragger. We've seen, you know, perhaps there's still questions surrounding Dennis and not providing exactly what NIP may need. But when you take a look at Mertz, they needed someone that could pick up that up and get aggressive.
Alex, so just quickly, I am Mr. Pessimistic. Yes, his stats and his fragging against whom? Against Tier 3 opposition, mostly online.
Okay.
Back to you, Chad.
Look, I watched him at DreamHack Winter. I'm going to play here that this guy can AWP, and he is an explosive AWPer. He is someone who MSO has never had to use properly
He's
before.
had, what?
Okay. Cajun.
A turret in Cajun B who will just kind of stand still, do his job. He's got Mertz who's going to basically jump underpass on Mirage and try and push him.
Yeah, let's see if he does that at a tournament of this magnitude.
We'll find out.
I hope
with
he
how
does.
much success. He's probably going to do it, but how successful is he going to be? And if it backfires, how consistent is he going to be at that?
We have to see which maps they play as well.
Yeah, the question marks continue because this new lineups mean you can change your map pool. Like, this is a good opportunity to do so. I would say both of these teams don't have the balls to do so. So we'll probably see the normal North and NIP maps.
This would be a matchup where you would like, yeah, this could be a train game.
You know,
even though it's an Inferno game, but this could be a train game, a nuke game. Sorry, that's what I want to say, because these two teams, even when they weren't in the top 5, they were considered top 3 maybe on the map.
One of the best things you could hope for here if you were North is maybe Inferno, because we did see them beat Na'Vi on that in line in Pro League. There we go. Okay, so it's Inferno. So it looked good for North online. The problem is the only idea that these teams would have of how they play is in practice, because we haven't seen NIP play a lot. We've only seen this North roster play a little bit as well. They did have the summit. But there's no data to go off for anybody unless you're practicing against each other, right? So this is just a chance where you have to play your own style. You can't be looking to counter.
Like, so for example, you know, when we were talking about the other roster changes and how we saw, like, you know, X amount of maps because of the best of 3 system over in Star Ladder. Over here, look at NIP, the amount of games they've actually got, you know, official games with Dennis, 4 maps. We really know nothing about how this roster is going to play out, and now finally we're going to start getting some answers here in Katowice.
I think that's why it will probably be for the best, Alex, if you just shut up and let the game play itself, because we have no idea what's going to happen.
There it is. Yanko is not wrong. Let's go ahead and check it out. It will be the Ninjas in Pyjamas versus North. Unknown entities coming in with new names and perhaps some new results. Let's jump back in with your casters as we enjoy Inferno.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I'm absolutely in agreement. I'm super excited for this one. I got to watch a little bit of North playing through qualifiers with Mert, super exciting player in that situation, different environment now. And for NIP, this is their first offline debut with, of course, the main man beside Dennis.
Oh, and that could, I mean, we could just see it get off to a hot start here with Dennis.
Pistol
God, yeah, exactly.
Like, you've got the new and the old god. You have Forrest, who used to be like the pistolero, now with Dennis. I mean, there's a lot to be seen here and a lot to be excited about.
Well, NIP's been forced back at B. They've been forced back in the A halls, but good for them. They've actually won the early battles in terms of damage. KRB and MSL down to 70 and 62. There's no real indication of where North wants to end up. That's a great shot from Get Right. Putting down KRB. And we always have to go back to the fun, you know, another fun storyline that could be overplayed, but I just enjoy it a lot, is how successful NIP is after they make roster changes. So this could
the honeymoon,
yeah, they're very good on the honeymoons.
God, yeah, I can't remember which event it was with Pitt as well. They had some really good success. But
that was DreamHack, the original DreamHack Malmo.
Okay, here we go. Well, this is the hit coming in through apartments as well. Good flashes, and Forrest gets completely outdone. Draken, though, staying alive, able to kind of dance his time around in this one, trying to buy a couple of seconds for the reinforcements. But it's still a 3v3 retake, essentially. That bomb does go down, which it should be right about now. Dennis up and above, popped up, and let's see if he can live up to the title that we always seem to give him. No, Mertz wants to rip it away from him. 2 kills for him this round. The Yanko's not completely convinced yet, but let's see if the proof's in the pudding here. And Rez now going to try his hand at it.
Yeah, no kits picked up yet by either one of these players. There is a smoke on Rez. He can actually block off Pit to help Get Right get into the site. Not coming out yet. Maybe he wanted to save it for the defuse, but it won't matter. Mertz with another great shot. That's tough for NIP. They had a couple, they had a good start into that round, but not able to shift any defense over to the A bomb site in time with just Forrest and one player in the pit. It's so difficult to hold that bomb site. Good round from North.
Very nice. And do you know what? I'm actually on board the Mertz hype train, if I'm honest.
Are you?
I am. I don't think
was
we're
it that pissed around that sealed it?
Yeah,
or
just that.
Were you waiting for him to have a good round to say that?
No, I was kind of worried because it's Inferno T-side, right? So it's not like we're going to see him going completely wild on it.
All right.
But I mean, I think throughout the tournament you're going to get to have some fun if he feels confident. So I'm glad to see him having a good pistol round to hopefully boost that for a new player coming to this sort of higher tier environment, right? But they all do look so Danish, don't they? Like there's like a Danish thing that they all seem to have. It's like you could just copy and paste it all. I'm almost certain. North though with the lead here for now. NIP, even with Dennis in tow. All jokes aside, he can make some ridiculous impact happen on pistol rounds. Can't do much in that one. Get locked out.
No, it's tough as well, because like his only chances when he's boosted up on Get Right, you know, and when you're boosted up like that, just not a whole lot of mobility. So as soon as Mertz sees it out, he's just like, all right, well, I know exactly how to line up this shot. Here's some utility being used over towards the B bomb site early on. There's a 3-man stack here for NIP. Smoke comes out from them, a counter smoke to delay. They're going to pick up the bomb on the way back towards that A bomb site, and with that opening kill, they're going to go right back towards B because Dennis and Get Right have shifted their positioning. So this is a good call from North, kind of reading of what's coming next in terms of rotations.
Yeah, and after all the drama and all the movement between KRB and where he is as a player, you want to be getting good results here. Just come out, again, make a statement throughout your performance. Mertz, so straight in towards Rez, going to find him pretty swiftly. That's with the UMP, so good to build up the money. Same can be said for MSL. On the SMG himself too. Dennis, just at the back of that smoke, unable to really see much. Looking for boosts or if anyone's going to try and play through it, but I don't think North really want to feed many of these guns away, especially with KRB going so low.
Equally, I don't think NIP should necessarily devote too much resources to trying to, I mean, obviously not trying to really win it anymore, trying to take guns away, but they would like, if they were able to bring some of these CZs and the Scout just got taken away from Forrest into the next round. So we'll have to see how that goes. Good kill from Dennis, and they all fall. VoDs coming from behind. Yeah, this North team is really cool. And it's funny because, I mean, obviously Mertz is just a new player in the pro scene. It's going to get a lot of attention. But even Kirby, you know, coming into this lineup with the potential of being the main focal point, the main production, like the powerhouse of this team, could be great. And then you obviously have VoDs, who's still not a new player, not inexperienced, but hasn't really shown all of his worth quite yet. I think he still has a new ceiling that he can reach as well. Same with, I mean, that's why this is just kind of a cool matchup in that sense, because Draken and Rez as well. I mean, still players that are still kind of getting their sea legs under them in terms of professional level play. A lot of damage coming out from these A-hulls, and a lot of kills.
AppStack didn't prove too fruitful. I guess Dennis did find a kill, which is kind of impressive in its own right, but still. Bit of a free farm. All works well for North. First 3 rounds cleanly go their way after the first pistol being a little bit, you know, here, there, and everywhere. The others were relatively clean. Now, looking at the purchase that NIP can get, I'm kind of curious what they go for here, where they shuffle it to, where they put the pressure towards, because we often talk to teams and players, if you ever talk to them about this map and the CT side, you know, money is king. If you can't afford those Molotovs, you've got to get that pressure on Banana, you're struggling for map control, you can get bullied, right? And North, well, they've got a great start here.
Yeah, and NIP is going to have to take a risk somewhere. They only have 4 smokes. It's not going to last the whole round, so you either have to, you know, really hold your smokes till very late, or what thing you can do is get aggressive somewhere on the map and kind of try and shrink the map down, so like kind of funnel North into the area where you want them to attack. Either of those things happen. There's only 2 smokes remaining on NIP, and they're playing a very passive defense already. Draken in the bomb site, Force in the pit. Dennis is going to be over towards Rap side.
This is so aggressive from North as well. Like, it's 1 minute 20, and they're already making moves towards CT Arch. Maybe a little ahead of the curve here, but again, good trades come out in the end for North. Be able to keep it at a 4v4 rather than Rez taking it further away. Get right caught unawares on the play back towards Banana, kind of caught in no man's land. And North show presence by A, make them pressure, not know where they're going. Switch up to B, it's all theirs. They've got players in CT and they've got players down here. This is a very, very diligent hit. And even if they lose out here, they've got more to go, but 80 wants to be up to the challenge. Gets 2 for himself, and Forrest left to watch as it all falls down.
It is very aggressive on that 4th round for North, who had to have known that utility was going to be low for the NIP side, but they do it pretty well. A lot of attention towards lane as they use smokes and Molotovs and flashbangs that side. MSL and Caribbean just jumping through the smoke on Rap to take the fight there. It seems like that might be something that we can look forward to in this T side, is MSL just essentially saying, you know, I will be the bait for you, Caribbean. Like, I will set you up in any way possible. We're just going to play buddy system. You're going to be the guy that's trying to find the opening kills. Get Right actually realizes a B-split is coming when he's playing behind the smoke at the base of Banana. And he just, you know, he can't get away that quick.
No, there's not much you can do. It's just like, I either sit here, can I fall back? Do I have like 2 more seconds? He might have gotten away with it, but I mean...
When they come through that smoke, he's just like, I have to kill 3 or we just lose the round. That's never a good place to be.
No, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. Every time they do the camera shot of NIP, in my head I'm like, this looks different. Like,
Still not used to it quite yet?
No, exactly. Like, for a second I'm suddenly like, what's happened?
For those as well, by the way, Peter coming back to coach NIP. He was the coach when NIP won the major in ESL Cologne 2014. All those many years ago.
It was a while ago now, wasn't it? Oh. It's always been an interesting one with NIP and their coaches. We've had, you know, the banding of, oh, they're just cheerleaders on occasion. We've had, you know, the tactical masterminds who've, you know, maybe not lasted as long as some of those cheerleaders.
Who are you calling a cheerleader?
I'm not putting anyone. I'm just echoing what other announcers have said.
I got you. All right. Good save.
Yeah, thanks. But no, it's quite interesting with NIP. It's curious how much of a difference it makes. It's always been that topic of how do you get the likes of, you know, Forrest, Get Right. You know, it has to be such a big figure to be able to get them to really be able to have to listen to it in a way. You know, if you want to kind of weigh it in that value.
In a way as well, since so much of the conversation with NIP has focused on someone like Threat, like that is just kind of like a small glimpse of the problems for this team, right? Like if every conversation is centered around what Threat as the coach is going to do with the squad, then you're just kind of like, well, there's something dysfunctional happening here. So we'll see. NIP, unlikely holder of one of the Grand Slam titles, IEM Oakland, coming out of nowhere again. Seem to have their one event every year, and yeah, I mean, starting out with one of the Grand Slam has got to be a great thing. Would love to build on that if possible.
But that's how they get you. That's how they break your heart. You know, that's the brilliance of them. It were like, no, there's no chance, and then suddenly you watch them do group stage really well. You're like, is this old NIP? Is the magic? Everyone starts banding around the terrible magic puns, and there's nothing magic about that for Dennis. MSL finds it pretty swiftly. Forest does get back into it, and there is a decent amount of players for NIP on this side, but for now, it's North keeping it pretty clean. AZ is still alive, believe it or not. The UI makes it look like he's almost out of there, but he has managed to stave off death at his door on 4 HP. Get Right and Rez survive with only P250s to their name, but yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it, when you talk about NIP in that aspect? It's always a strange topic.
Good start for North, up 5-0, and now the real challenge begins because the full losing bonus is going to come out for NIP. They can get the AWP out on the board. They can get the Molotovs and the smokes and all the utility they could possibly need, the defuse kits. We'll see what they bring forward to fight with. And that's where you expect North will have to just kind of slow these things down. I think these have kind of been surprisingly aggressive rounds in certain situations that they've kind of come up with on North have been surprisingly fast-paced.
Yep.
And here I think they're going to be forced to buy utility.
Okay. Let's see how this unfolds and going forward. So far, I like the approach by North. It's that kind of like, right, let's just blitz through them, set the game on fire, it's ours. Wow.
Hot damn.
That's a lot of AWPs have just arrived.
Yeah, 2 AWPs on the CT side. Mertz picks up one as well for North on the T side, and this is why you mentioned we might not see him going absolutely nuts on this T side of Inferno. It can be very difficult to manage the op. At the moment, he's just going to challenge that mid pick. Draken has an angle, but he's not going any further, which is probably wise. Mertz was waiting for that.
We'll see. See how this one unfolds for him. If he can maybe make impact down the line, that'd be impressive. But Forest absolutely does AC through the smoke. Don't come to his apartments anymore. Don't knock on his door. Just leave him alone. All right. Grumpy old man Forest does not want to be bothered. He's happy over there. It's now 5v4 already to begin. North having to finally get their way back into it, find a bit of an avenue of approach, because so far they've been generally given the lead or having the advantage somewhere, whether it be through money, weaponry, whatever it may be. Now we're going to see them put to the task as Rez just on the other side of this as well. Baited into this one, not going to get the shot through nor take anyone down at least, but a bit of damage coming through towards the T side.
That's a big mistake from NIP. Molotov and smoke use, but Dennis is in perfect position. He's going to shut down MSL. He needs to live, whether it's falling back or not. He's going to be completely blinded, and oh, Mertz couldn't handle the no-scope. Swings out wide. There it is. Great recovery, a flashy shot. 40 seconds left. Draken has gotten inside the bomb site. Forrest is on his horse on the way here. But North's going to switch things up again. They want to go back towards Banana. And thankfully, no one from NIP overreacted and pushed down. It's Get Right and Rez for the hold.
All right, Get right to the back by the not-so-new boxes. Rez there as well. Still up close, that's perfect. Valde this time not going to survive, as Get Right can just line him up and knock him down. Until then, Kiebi somehow recovers this. He's got 1v3, he fakes the bomb. 10 seconds left, he spams away one, gives himself a second to breathe, but pretty sure he knows he can't really do much about this one. Can he stay alive? Question, and the answer is no.
No, but I mean the awareness and the situational awareness to just peek there at the end for him, not stay in those new boxes and just kind of wait till the timer was out to die. That's huge from him. Else he wouldn't have been able to get any bonus one. That was a nice shot from Mertz, but at that point everything is just kind of shut down. There's not a whole lot of options left for North. Even Dennis falling there, while you don't want it as the player that's guarding the rotation back, it was far advanced of the A bomb site, allows time for NIP to rotate in the appropriate position. So another full buy for North, and still the double op setup for NIP, and it's going to be a B rush. Here's the op. Rez, nice shot, doubles up on MSL, can't follow anything up. But Get Right is here with the Molotovs. He's going to throw out a nade as well. They're going to come through that. VoDs eating damage out of 37. Get Right is blind. They want to pressure him, but they don't come all the way through the smoke.
No, but the smoke goes back in. Get Right puts another down, so Valde just waits there. Blind as a bat, but he's perfectly fine. Still alive at least on 37 HP, but the bomb just about going down. Flash goes high, boost comes in, and up goes Dennis. Looking for his first chance, but gets his head taken off by AZ. As now in a 4v3, North have the upper hand.
What a bold call to just rush B in that fashion. Not a lot of utility left. NIP desperately want to go for this. We'll see if they can handle it. Get Right waiting for the smoke. It was just put up. I think he's going to have to go for it. The bomb has some smoke on it. Get Right needs that kill. Can't find it. The up from Draken rings through. True. Now he's just got to stick it and hope and pray. Kirby coming in with a knife, trying to get the kills. There's one. No more chance of winning this, and Draken's going to fall away. He's got 100 HP. He can survive the blast, but he can't survive these two players. And that is crushing.
How's the money looking?
It's not good. It's not good at all. Rez and Forrest at 1,500. Dennis and Draken over 3,000. Get right 2,200. So tough call to make. I think they're going to have to sit this one out. Maybe invest a small amount, but this is poised to be a very strong T side for North.
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed how, you know, almost vivacious they've been. They've been so into it. They've been so, quite aggressive as well, quick on the rotates. North are coming into this looking like they have, a real plan in mind. It's just very, very decisive play for a T-side. Assuming that maybe they're really filling into that roster now.
I think NIP had to be just as shocked as me to see that B rush come out from North. That was craziness. Especially when it was like just when NIP got enough money to afford the Molotovs, they could run through flames, they could get double naded. There was a lot of things that obviously could have gone wrong, and the op from Drake and doubling up, bringing MSL down low, not able to get another kill after that though. So tough times.
And on the edge, we've got Rez over that. Just trying to make something connect. Smoke does come in. They're playing it pretty cautiously. Checking everything. MSL meticulous in approach. Gonna re-smoke, re-nade, get everything back up, put the wall away, and keep the Swedes out of their bomb site. So the bomb should be planted any second now, and it does seem as though they're under, full lockdown here and not really letting anyone get a glimpse.
Which is great. Some return fire through the smoke and yield some headshots. The tough part is NIP is going to have another decision maker. I think they're going to have to buy in the next round. I don't know if you can let North get up to 8 rounds before you really have a strong buy come out. I think you need to start challenging here. You're going to need more rounds. But, I mean, Forrest is down at 1,000. There's just not a lot of money. There's going to be a couple players who are really, really destitute, really beat up in terms of what they can purchase. So this is, I think this one might warrant a timeout from the NIP guys to talk things over.
Yeah, I'm surprised that may not have been thought about yet, but maybe this is the kind of like sign where you're like, all right, this is the moment we need to have a little chat. I'm wondering how much they've really been able to get done, and there's a pause coming in. I'm kind of curious how much they've been able to achieve here. They've obviously had Dennis for a little while now, but the new coach and everything else coming in, like there hasn't been like a great deal of time.
It's a lot of moving parts,
going.
isn't it? So it's actually not a tactical pause. It is going to be a technical pause. Yep.
Okay.
So no one really able to converse about any adjustments or anything along those lines. So maybe just take a moment for yourself, meditate. Forrest is watching on.
Dennis has broken something.
Typical.
The admin looks just as confused as they're like, I have no idea what he's done. But it might almost be good in a way for NIP just to keep themselves from getting frustrated. Just, take a second. Think things through individually. Obviously, you can't talk at the moment. It's pause time.
Correct.
So, for technical at least, obviously. It does seem as though we are back in this. There was a short technical, so it seems that whatever the issues were, they have been resolved. Now, we were saying that money was an issue for NIP, and it's still very fragile, their economy coming into this round. What can they really kind of pull together here? Is it going to be enough of a purchase? Are they going to be missing anything anywhere?
It still feels very awkward. Obviously, you're missing just a straight up, a real weapon on Forrest. He's only got the CZ. He's got full utility, though, which is nice because Draken has the op but 1 smoke, and Get Right has no nades whatsoever. And he has been the B defender, perhaps why they're rotating him now towards alt mid, or excuse me, not alt mid, rap side. They know if you're going to play that B bomb site, you need smoke and Molotov. Even Rez back onto the SMG. So the fast pace that North has set out as well, it's just kind of setting up even more success in these kind of low buy rounds that NIP is bringing forward. They have to use their nades so quickly, so early on, just because they're being kept honest. Here's AZ leading his way into the bomb site, gonna wrap around, smokes, isolate Dennis inside the site. He can't even fight, and there goes Drake, and it's so quick.
3 kills so swiftly. Forrest was up on the balcony. He could have maybe helped out there, but everyone's watching those angles. They have really well-constructed, precise hits coming out, and NIP just crumble. Get Right, sure, he can flank away, maybe get a kill on the way out, maybe suffer a little less at their hands, but I mean, at this point, that's looking like 8-1 no matter what you're going to do about it.
Good kill on MSL. He's almost got to fight to keep this, because again, just to hammer it home, they have nothing with which to fight with in the future rounds. They need to keep these weapons on the board. That's a great round from North. Smoke walls, making sure Dennis is feeling very, very lonely. Get Right was going for a flank, but once his teammates all die, there's no point in him even trying to win the round. There's Mertz gonna punish Get right, and Rez can get nothing done with that UMP. There it is, 8-1. Gonna get another pause come out, and this time...
It's gotta be tactical.
Yeah, surely this time
It's gotta
tactical.
be. The music kicks in. We tensely wait to see. It does seem as though it should be paused, but the countdown's still going, so it's okay. Oh, that was very weird. They're I don't know. They're fine though, apparently.
Well, they're saying essentially they want to call it tactical pause. It's a different system than what they didn't really know how to use the system. So
fair enough.
They're going to say we're saving for on pistols anyway. So the pause was really going to be used for the next round when they put out the guns, so they can just do it all over again in the next freeze time. No reason for them to panic as time ran low. Dennis trying to get something going with the Deagle. Lands some shots, but no kills come out, which are desperately needed. And North is just really punishing this with his pace in these rounds. It's been, what, 3 B rushes now that NIP hasn't even been able to come close to stopping.
Yeah, there's so much power to this north side. You're seeing the firepower come through. A lot of these players really landing, just so many confident shots, just going in, taking fights that they know they can win. Oh, that's not bad for Forest, but by this point you are still down to 3 players. But look at AZ, look at Kievi, they're a little weakened, the walking wounded.
Yeah.
And they've backed away so fast to save those guns.
Yes, they wanted to make sure they don't get blocked in. Obviously, they're also creating a path their teammates can retreat in, although their teammates with higher HP don't have to run nearly as far away. So NIP's going to have to be happy with the 1 kill. No weapon's going to be salvaged over. Forrest actually tapped the defuse. It almost pulls Mertz back into the radius.
Almost.
Veteran play. Wily. I liked it.
Do you like it?
Just bait someone back into blowing up with a bomb. That's pretty sick.
Just things that make Jason happy.
It's the simple things, Lauren.
Simple things for
Simple people.
Jason. 9-1 though. It's quite a simple scoreline if I'm honest. North completely dominating this game. Money for NIP has been sparse. It's been really tough for them to get going. North have had absolutely no mercy in their approach as well. It has been eyes on the prize, get to the end of the game and we don't drop rounds. MSL leading a bit of a charge towards Banana too. Go on, Get Right and Rez not too far off, trying to keep presence here actually. MSL goes straight in on the fight. The flash wasn't actually that bad either, but Get Right and Rez, one of the two, unscathed by the flash and still delivered on the shot.
No follow-up as well. Kirby was there, but I think he was cut off by the Molotov and maybe gets lost in the hectic nature of all the utility being traded. There's a smoke over. Mert's going to try and beat it. They're not aware the Rez is there, and with the gunshots, he gives away his position and backs away. Boost up in the mid-round. Spots Get Right pushing up, spamming through. He's down so low. Baldy's going to burn him. Mertz is trying to do something crazy. It's not going to happen. He's been brought low. Kirby at 1 HP. Surely they can't fight for this. It's Rez and Dennis here. But North keeps up the pressure.
Certainly do. Kirby on 1 HP though. Hemorrhaging at the seams, and Draken and Forrest going to double stack what looks like CT Arch. Kind of all in. Draken take a shot, back away, and then come back in support, but they are fading off from this because look where that bomb's going again. No idea, they can't know this. Is that I was thinking there was a plan to that or a bigger picture, but for now it's AZ moving forward. Making a bit of noise will give away a touch of the game, and here comes the flashes, here comes the smoke, and here comes the hit. Rez is first there, and well, first to deliver, and the second to follow. Valdi gets pushed aside. It's Mertz and Kiebi. Mertz is a wild child, but he's been tamed this time, and Rez stays alive and keeps NIP in with a shot at this. That'll be 2 rounds on the board, and Kiebi just about staying alive.
Yeah, the entries had to be so clean for North if they wanted to win that round. There wasn't enough HP to fight on the rest of them, and it doesn't happen, so NIP finally put a second, and they're able to salvage it up, and they're able to hand it over, so a double up setup again coming out from NIP, but still haven't been able to build up great amounts of bank. North can essentially buy for days here. Round 12, it's 9-2, and we do have another timeout.
I guess.
North, you can see MSL talking. I mean, he's figuring things out for this T side, exactly what they want to do. Remember, it's been a lot of like just straight up, they've been battling pretty intensely and very aggressively for banana control. And they've done it for the most part outside of a 1B rush when NIP hasn't had any nades and utility. So now it's probably trying to talk, you know, what have we seen from this defense? Like, how can we exploit it? Do we want to go back towards the A bomb site? So we'll see what North kind of switches up and brings out here.
Yeah, this will be the interesting one. See how they change things. If there is a different approach, you kind of have to. If Molotovs go down, there's no way you can just run through that. So there has to be some adjustments. Curious what they are, if it's a slowdown or what it is. But the double AWP's out again as well for NIP. Happy to go back to that big investment here.
There's an off-angle boost. Rez dodges both those, which is nice. Good delayed nade. They want to go for it. Beautiful flashbang that time, and I don't know if they can get away. Just narrowly gets around the corner. Still sticking around, though. Some courage being displayed by Rez there. But they have done their job. They've forced the defense back into the site. They've forced utility out. Right's got one flashbang. Rez only has one smoke remaining.
See if I can get this one building. Draken didn't get tested here before. Him and Forrest were holding this sort of angle. It's this time Dennis. And Draken lives up to the task. Look at that delivery. Tries to back away, but aware that he could be traded, so takes his time on this. Mertzo diving on it. It's Kiebi first. The flash has come through. The support is there. Forrest and Draken are ready for this one. It's AZ, the only one to really do damage back with 2 kills, and now leaving Mertz in the 1v3. He's got 40 seconds, but he's going for this as well. Looks for it, gets it. Forrest goes down. It's a 1v2. Surely this is not how you're going to make your impression here. Molotov and a smoke. And what looks like a bomb plant, but the timing. Surely NIP can just time him out of this. Unless he can define one of these 2 1v1s. I don't know how he's going to get out of this. The young gun coming in. This is certainly one way to prove yourself. And there it is. Get right, the experienced man waits for the time to pounce. Rez was there too. Job done, bomb defused, both AWPs picked up.
Yeah, he needed to be a bit more aggressive. He needed to pick kind of one side of the bomb site to just kind of go take the fight, because if you're pinned into the site, you have to pick somewhere. Either way, great defense initially on this top mid. That Molotov used to allow that peek to come in, yields him a kill, able to survive and get a couple more. So a third round for NIP. It was hard fought though. They are still going to have both AWPs on the board. Let's get right one. That fight in the 2 versus 1. See, they need to claw back into this. They need to come. They need to get up towards at least 5 if they want to have a chance moving forward in the second half. We've seen so many teams. It's not like unimaginable that NIP can come back in this, because we've seen so many teams on this map recently struggle with the economy on the CT side. It's really one misplaced buy, and all of a sudden your economy is just hell until you can win 2 to 3 rounds in a row.
This fast hit towards mid again, going to come straight back out from north. Molotov goes in towards Zaps, allows Forrest to turn his attention, but Draken lines him up, Norse knocks him out. He gets 1, and the support is there. That is brilliance from NIP. This time they are ready for this hit. North can't keep doing this anymore.
Yeah, no, this is really shut down now. Get right, NIP showing that they can that they have a handle on the situation now that they have the Molotovs. As soon as the smokes and flashes come up into the choke points, you can see everyone from NIP pulling out the fire, dropping it down in front of them, and just allowing North to run through the flames.
This is good from NIP. Good recovery. It's been a very, very taxing half so far for them. See the pace and the ferocity North have brought into it. It's certainly not easy to turn around. Mertz, though, going to work his way up pretty quickly, and Rez is happy with this. Mertz is trying to play this very extravagant game. He's been punished a couple of times for it as well. Rez forced away from this. Lots of flashes too. Going to try and force these guys away from Banana. Molotov to follow. Get right now isolated. This train of flashes was sublime, but 1-for-1 trade out in the end. As we do to see it though, left into that 4v3.
Garright did his job. 1 kill. Also dinks up MSL. So much utility used to get that control. The op doesn't land that shot. Gets the follow-up, though, and MSL approaching at the bomb site. There's the M4. That's an easy kill for Dennis, even though MSL had to jump on him, it felt. NIP with their 5th. They finally come back into it. Yeah, and that aggressive play now from North looked great to start with, and now it's looking a bit worn. NIP, the ops are kind of starting to really come to life.
Here's the thing as well. You've got MSL at the helm. You've got people like Valde playing well, AZ playing well. You can just kind of take your time on it as well. You don't need to go for that mad speed. Fast hits that have been coming through. You can slow it down a little bit. You've got very, very capable players.
In case you're not in tune to the second stream, it is a 16-3 victory for FaZe over Order.
Sorry, 16-3. just cruelty at that point.
It is a little bit. What's also cruelty is Mertz with an opening kill onto NIP. Let's give them a 5-on-4. It's one of the ops down. Rez still has his towards Banana, finds the equalizer. The young gun peeks out too far.
He's kind of like those like little puppies, you know what I mean? They just like want to get in on everything. They're like super excited about everything they do. Just flies up Banana. It's just...
Gotta teach him to sit, hold.
I mean, I was just making a comparison.
Did I take it too far?
You've taken it too far. Like, you're making MSL be like the dog trainer. I mean...
The dog whisperer, that one from South Park. Rez here. He's gonna try and build on it. He gets the angle. Oh, Kirby jumps over it in the no-scope. He's gonna get punished here. Kirby surprises him coming through the smoke, and it's just Get Right. He's waiting at Coffins. Gonna jump over, gonna leap with the flashbang. The bomb does go down. There's a big flank, though. Dennis and Force now right at the entrance, and this is faster than I think anyone expects. Although certainly they're gonna realize it soon enough.
Yeah, right about now when that Molotov comes over, you're starting to think, I guess they're on Banana, especially now as Valde kind of seals the deal and puts North still in a very good position, 10-5, of course. A strong start for them in this first half.
Really strong start, a tough finish. NIP did find ways to have some success. That was a great, I wouldn't call it a comeback, but a great recovery in some ways. Yeah. Either way, we'll see if they can complete it. We'll see if North can close this out when we return from the break. Stay tuned.
Intel Extreme Masters.
North putting up an incredibly aggressive start to the first half, but it certainly didn't put off NIP. They came back with a couple of rounds and kept it pretty competitive. Let's see if it now works out going into the second half. Of course, North sitting at 10 rounds and NIP with just 5.
Yeah, Nip eventually did figure it out. It's that same lesson everyone learns, gets to on the CT side Inferno as soon as you get the money. So that's why the pistol round can be so important. That fourth round there, the second round is actually a huge round for CT sides, depending on what they buy. See how North is able to handle things. Actually, they're going to push right down mid. Opening kill from VoDs. AZ and Kirby coming out, and the bomb is here as well. And now it's exposed. Draken has to run away. He's got to fall back. Dennis and Force trying to wrap around behind and reopen this avenue over towards A, and they're kind of doing it. It is fallen somehow into a 2 versus 2.
Absolute madness to start this off with, and they're creeping closer to the range where the Glocks generally do pretty well, but Draken's just gone. He's just trying to get the plant, but I mean, they can hear these smokes and they're not that far away.
That smoke might have messed it up. It looked like they thought it was going to be B. Yeah.
I mean, obviously Draken had no idea of this, but you can see how that's worked out for him. He's now adjusted towards pit. They have no information. The bomb's there, but that's about it. Beyond that, you're just guessing. You see, that's why Kiebi's wondering about CT Arch. Is he rapping? Is he going to try and find some time for this? He's got 2 flashes as well, but here's one. AZ checks graveyard, so he has to go to the left because AZ can now peek to the right, and they're going to time it together. There's nothing he can do. AZ is there. The clock was pretty close. So they should have it.
That smoke helped him by quite a bit of time there. That was not a bad play, except for the fact that it gave up which bombs that he was planning at. Outside of that, which turned out to be a major issue, that smoke actually helped him out in a big way. So almost able to win it, but that's crushing. That's like the first of maybe 2 daggers that NIP can suffer if they want to make a comeback happen. 11-5, and there's not going to be that luxury for NIP that North is going to be missing smokes, missing nades, missing Molotovs. No armor being purchased up in this second round as well. 2 Deagles, a couple P250s. They're going to go for those AKs as soon as possible.
Here we go. 3 spicy shots coming through at least. So far you're hearing a lot of Deagles throughout the map. It kind of makes you go, I don't really want to fancy peeking around the place.
Yeah, VoDs called that play off real quick, didn't he?
Yep.
Heard the Deagles and he's just like, nah, I want nothing to do with that.
It's not a bad shout. So you got 2 Deagles up, 2 P250s, and a straight Glock for us. On the other side is MSL and Kiebi over by B. The ones who have to receive this kind of 4-play stack and 5 once Forest comes over, if they do just make a run for it. But with no armor, no utility, as deadly as these guys may be with pistols, you're kind of working at a big disadvantage there. Kiebi going to take the high ground and take down Draken.
Yeah, but MSL missed that smoke so bad that it looked like it might actually cost them more. Because if NIP hits like Kirby, I'm not sure what his vision is like over that smoke. Probably wouldn't have lost the round, but maybe would have lost 1 or 2 players, maybe a lot of plant to come through. That's tough. Kirby, now the smoke is cleared, able to take some easy shots. All 4 players from NIP still here, haven't made any progress, haven't landed any real damage, or any damage at all, really. There's the pop flash peek from MSL. Good trade from Forrest, and now Kierby, another one's going to come through for him. He misses his opportunity. VoDs is here, though. He rotated from A to play support for this B bomb site, and now they just have a very nice crossfire setup. Easy kill, easy follow-up. The round's over, 12-5.
Yeah, North kind of starting this off incredibly well for themselves. Bear in mind that normally you can you can hope to get things started in the right direction for you at least. If you're coming into this with NIP, you want that pistol round so badly. That's where the springboard that kind of puts you forward. But right now they're kind of floundering a little. But this is the big round for them essentially.
Yes. It also, I mean, winning the pistol would have also put the pressure on North to be able to, see if they were going to make that mistake in the second round of fully investing or something along those lines. But either way, doesn't happen. VoDs going to push forward no matter what. There's the spray down to get right. Neutralizing one of those AKs. The smoke is out to allow him to get back, and he is going to be able to just make it. Looked like Dennis might have been able to punish him. Another kill comes out towards the B bomb site, but actually aggression everywhere. Baldy still spraying through smoke. Has somehow found a second kill. I don't know. It's happening all over the map. North is just peeking and fighting everywhere. Rez and Dennis. The last 2 remaining for NIP.
I almost feel for NIP, because like, you're just hoping for a normal game, right? You're just hoping that you're not going to get people running at you all over the map, because you're NIP. You don't have to make people respect you in-game. They already should, but right now, North are having their way with them completely, and that was the buy round that could have maybe opened up that gateway back in. We saw it to a different degree in the Astralis game, right? Those small windows, once you get the right rounds going for yourselves, you can build back into anything. Different caliber of teams here in the way you match them up for sure, but at 13-5, North show no mercy.
Yeah, they really aren't, and that's not a bad thing to do, especially when you have so many rounds to play with. If you're North, like why not just try and suffocate an NIP before they can really get going on that T side? Why not just aggressively attack every part of the map and try and shut things down and make them feel small? They've done just that. Timeout or tactical pause coming in for NIP. 2 left. They might not need both of them. This could be over very quickly if they're able to get in the board in the next one. They're going to be back onto essentially just pistols again.
That's really rough, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like, it feels like they've never had good money, even on the CT side, right? It was like towards the end, okay, that's when they got those rounds back. But they just never, it felt like they've never had that good money beside them. And North have really made it hurt. You've had VoDs having a really good game as well throughout this sort of series. He's had a big performance. But I mean, everyone's doing their job. They're all aggressive, they're all trading well. There's still hope for NIP, but they need one of these rounds to go their way. Otherwise, it's just completely gone. It's completely done for. And Mertz, well, not had much of an opportunity to shine. You can see he's the excitable type, just been bounding around the place. But for now, it's Dennis trying to find an avenue of approach through the apartments, but been already thwarted away with those Molotovs.
Can't be feeling a whole lot of hope when you've only got smoke flash on Get Right, so you have to rely on a pick with one of the pistols, and only Rez has a deagle, so there's only really one player that's going to be in any kind of position to find one of those alleviating kills. The rest have CZs, so this smoke flash on Get Right, it'll be interesting to see where they put it, but it's got to be so incredible. I'm assuming it'd have to be for small pit, or
incredible. No. Okay, smoke towards quad. High flash towards library sort of side, CT arch. Doesn't actually force Mertz off the angle either, which is a bit of an issue. Means that Dennis will go down. Forest run boosting in, I'm pretty sure, trying to get over the corner. MSL does get found by Get Right, and you've got Forest pretty close by. This has opened up this new avenue to them. They can maybe split towards B. There's one man in their way. He's standing on the corner. It's Kierby.
This is a dangerous angle for him, though. They're going to check it, and there's the shot from Rez. Immediate. He got far too close and then realized what was coming and probably wanted to fall back but couldn't make it happen. Mertz is going to lead the way with the AWP, and he's dropped down as well.
Rez is putting up a big wall of defense here, doing really nicely, but didn't quite get enough done. As VoDs, are you fancying a go at it? Or are you going to just try and get that AWP away from them? Run away, VoDs. Forest. It's a horrible feeling. It's like, my timing is awful. I've made loads of noise, and I just want this gun. Let me have it, Forest. Go away. Just take the round.
I think Valdi's a funny player to watch because he's very smart. Like, one of the things we always talk about Valdi is like his knowledge of the game is very, very good. He's one of the most studious players that I've ever spoken to in terms of you know, how he watches demo and how he watches all the matches and everything like that. And it's just funny seeing him like look like he wants to take a fight, and you can see the internal conflict. Like, he turns to go back for that peak banana and then just like, no.
But he did keep the AWP, which is always good. So they have succeeded on that front. And now we look at what we have. A small avenue. We said it. The NIP needed something to springboard them maybe to a potential, I guess, couple of rounds, right? I'm not saying they can get back to maybe beating North at this point, because North have been very convincing, but this is it. This is your chance. Once you get to like 14, you're on the verge of 15. Unforced and forced errors can define the game for you. So I mean, this is that small avenue. And look at the aggression again. Forest caught completely unawares. Kierby just barrels down Banana. These guys have zero care for the other side. This is, you know, getting to the point of war crimes the way these guys are doing it. It's just cruelty.
Forrest, it felt like he was actually watching for that and then just turned to put out the flames, and it's just unfortunate timing for him. Yeah, MSL with another kill. Draken trying to punish the retreat. And so quickly, it's a 5-on-3. This is NIP coming out with some less than disciplined starts to these rounds. Now I've got to fight themselves out of another hole, and this would just be disastrous if they can't put them together. Even though they did that round start with just basically CZs and a deagle, they don't have any money built up. There's only 2 players with cash left to buy after this if they were to lose. Get Right and Dennis going to have to provide so many openings coming up A. Valdi in Graveyard. He can stall out in that position, and I think the rest of them know it. There's the peek, there's the kill, but AZ up top grabs 2 somehow. A great transfer over and finishes it off with a triple.
Wow.
Yeah, how about them apples?
Yeah, a little kind of sour at this point, aren't they? It's pretty rough for NIP. Again, you kind of want these debuts to go quite well, don't you, in a way? When you have like a player like Dennis added, you kind of want them to have like a good run to start with. I'm not saying you want the instant NIP magic of just somehow winning in an event, but you know, this is
if
looking...
that was your barometer, though, if you were like, oh, now with this, they're going to be back, like that, you're just in for a hard fall, aren't you?
Well, look, we know that Henry G's a big NIP fan.
Probably wore his t-shirt today, I would imagine.
You reckon he's got
I haven't seen him yet.
No, I bet he's got it on. I'm waiting for the day he gets to coach them.
We
You know what I
ha-
mean? They're running out of options. Eventually,
We did
they're
have
gonna
to
go
pack
to
for
it.
a long trip. I don't know if he's quite got it with him yet.
Or maybe they've got the Henry G one on the back, name on the back.
Yeah,
And
good
it's
point.
quite sweet they treat him like that. 6-14 though. North continue forward. No matter what NIP seem to put at them, North seem relentless in where they want to go at this, and it's only toward the end of this game with a victory by their side. Against them, I hate to keep saying the same thing, but they've got one rifle on Forest and an AWP on Drake, and maybe that's all they need. Mertz again getting punished, being absolutely taken aback, as we do see already great chances being built here by the younger players on NIP.
I think North Mertz perhaps surprised to see that up come out, knowing or kind of maybe misjudging the economic situation. Even still, with this kind of a lead, you don't mind sending the young guy out there to like take a fight that he wants. Just go test him, see what he's got, give him some freedom, some ways to build confidence. Obviously doesn't pan out here. Get Right's going to salvage that second AWP. So now 2 ops and an AK on the T side. And over a minute remaining for Get Right to try and have some kind of presence, try and pick off one more player over at B. If Valdi throws that nade, Get Right will see the trajectory. KRB's got a smoke. Valdi with Molotov smoke.
That's about it for now. It's tentative from NIP, and I don't blame them. They're down to 40 seconds. They've got a good idea. They know what they want to do. They're trying to make it happen. Having those double ops on the T side, it's just like, all right.
That's
I
the thing.
guess,
It's got to slow down, doesn't it?
yeah, there's nothing else you can really do about it. You've got Valdi there, you've got KRB there. They're slowly working forward. It's not too subtle. They're not being quiet about it. Get right to it. That is perfection from him. Gonna try and take the moment while he can, moves forward. Somehow it's actually worked.
Well, and Rez actually caught Valdi holding a Molotov in his hand and gets that one dig before he can recover. So the flames do come out, but they have almost no impact. North are the ones forced away, and somehow NIP make another miracle round work, starting with the CZs. There's some cash still on the north side of things, but I imagine with this many rounds between them and losing, they're going to just kind of save up and make sure their next buy is going to be very strong again. So NIP, they're second. It's Rez leading the way for them at 15 and 13. Get Right is at 12 and 15, and then 9 and 8 on the remaining players. Valdi having a great game. 22 and 10 for him, AZ 18 and 10. These back and forth rounds in the second half, allowing NIP to make the scoreline a little bit respectable, but how far can they take it?
Isn't that the question? It doesn't feel like they have the consistency yet, and we haven't seen any of those like kind of scripted hits. We've all been looking for that new look NIP. What is the new look? What can they do about this? So I think it's still very early days in that. I'd like to find out what time frame they've had to work with this. That'd be quite cool down the line to understand.
That's kind of an interesting thing as well, because when you also think about it, I mean, last week was a week where they couldn't. Well, actually, maybe they could have. There was a lot of practice rooms set up in Kiev that the teams could have used. So I take it all back.
Yeah, I hope down the line, throughout the tournament, we do find out how much they've been able to achieve. With Dennis online, just getting ready for this. There has been teams wanting to play, if not. But at the moment, North on the other side of things, with their own roster changes and their own struggles in this one, they had to fight their way to get here. Are looking pretty solid, if I'm honest. They look very, very robust. A couple of issues here and there, getting caught with a Molotov in your hands is never good, but I mean...
That was a very weird timing, because it almost felt just like, just throw it as soon as the smoke disappears, and then, like, you win.
Simple as that. Jason, have you ever thought about being a coach?
I've thought about it. Decided against it. There's a lot of stresses involved in those things, Lauren.
Do you know, casting with, like, PUBG people is such a walk in the park compared to you know?
There's
just...
no way that's true.
Absolutely. You guys make it very tricky. And we'll see if NIP can keep making this a little trickier for North, as they're working them down, they're grinding them away, but they need to keep it up. It can't just be that glimmer of hope, that small little flash in the pan. It's going to be consistent.
Yeah, we haven't seen that yet. It's been 2 basically like half buys or, you know, just pistols that they've come up with, which are miracle rounds for sure, but you're exactly right. You need to be able to do it in the gun rounds as well. There's a good start, double nade. Could have done some great damage on a Caribbean. He dodges most of it. Just passing the 1 minute mark. MSL has a full nade kit at the B bomb site. Caribbean just using his last smoke here. He's using that. He is the anchor. So it's MSL that rotates. And he'll be boosted up now. NIP hasn't really pressured too much across this map. They've made presence over at A-Halls, but they're going to start falling right back into a B hit. Mertz is already halfway there. He's in CT spawn, and he doesn't have an AWP. He has an M4, so he can be a bit more dynamic and quicker to get involved if this execute does come in.
There we go. All being lined up. MSL and Kiebi will be the ones to hold this until, as you said, Mertz can jump on over. 2 orbs still on that T side. That is not what you want, and already Dennis isolated. GetRight does find AZ in the meantime, and that's over by A. That's keeping Valde pressured. But Mertz, he knows it. Look at the time, though, down to 8, 7. The bomb's gone loose. It's not planted. Draken can't get it done, and GetRight is a million miles away. It doesn't matter at this point. They've held on for now, and North get 1 round away from getting this group stage started off very well for themselves.
Yeah, NIP with these AK-47s, they're not very aggressive. I mean, they didn't put any pressure on the A-bombs. They didn't attack anyone over there. When they had the CZs, remember, they did attack that wrap side. It was just smoke on the right side mid and kind of push up towards CT Arch, and they were able to find some kills and make it work, but they're not doing that. They're not, you know, trying to open anything up over towards A. And really, that one Molotov saved by MSL, even though it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, a follow-up smoke to extinguish the flame so they could attack just causes even more confusion.
A little flat, I'm going to say, from NIP, which is a shame. You know, it's not to be biased, but it's always exciting when NIP make roster changes, because normally they come out of the gates really swinging. You see this like huge potential. I was kind of hoping to see that here. Maybe not maybe like all the way, but a little bit of that glimmer of like, awesome, this could be really big. But so far, if you're a CS fan, you've had great stuff from North. That's the exciting storyline for you. I think Mertz, I think, is going to have one of those funny careers where it's either like highest highs or just looks like he's just going for the most ridiculous shots.
That's how it always starts, isn't it? I mean, that's kind of what we said about Draken as well when he first joined the NIP lineup. And to a certain
he misses
degree,
all the sitters and then just goes ham on like the ridiculous shots.
Yeah, I mean, that element is still there to begin with. You don't want them to completely lose that, because that's like kind of their risk-taking element that makes them like really cool prospects. But you do want to find a way to temper it. Mertz is going to have his chance here. They're going to burst right through this smoke, and he's lined up in the lane. Molotov comes out. They beat it, though. They run right past. He realizes it. Great adjustment from him. They're still coming forward. His teammates are here to back him up. Great shots from Valde, but better ones from GetRight. The bomb site is lost, but AZ still alive in pit.
Such a god at playing these sort of spots as well, GetRight. You play him out from like apartments, always does so well for himself. AZ's nade does find him in the end, though. So this 2v2 now kicks off, and wow. Okay, Draken's just a little spicy today. He landed that shot pretty crisply. Now AZ left in the 1v2. The bomb is planted, and I'm not sure how aware they are of him being here. I can imagine they might have an idea, but we'll see. Does have a kit and a smoke. Rez still on the bomb site, one towards apartments, and wow, Rez actually gets sent back a little bit, but there comes Draken. Well timed and played it out between each other.
Yeah, that was so good. Critical kills from GetRight. Those 2 frags just at the correct moment. It looked like North was holding that off with ease, really. Once the NIP was fighting inside the flames, the M4s in pit from Valde. GetRight jumping up on the hate card is really what saved the day for NIP. So 15-8, they've got to win 7 more in a row to force overtime. But they'll have an easier time in this round. It is just against the CZs, the Deagles, the P250.
Why have you said that? Why have you said this? Why have you...
Theoretically.
I'll put 2 zlotys on it. How about that? This is the
I'll
one.
raise you 3.
Big money. I'm not an external caster. Valde gonna get things going for me. There we go. Looking good. No. Valde, why have you done that? 3v4. I'm upset, Jason. That's my month's rent.
That's 2
out the
zlotys
window.
looking good.
We are down to Kievi, AZ, and MSL. They're going to try and put themselves in the best position they can to deal with this, but of course NIP have the full set behind them. Nice little flash in, could have maybe done something. If you overstep though, you're going to be in trouble, and you are. Dennis is there, and they've got to know that someone sent that flasher flying, so AZ's going to be checked on. Maybe. Yes, he is in the end. That's fine. Dennis again, just building up the kills, slowly but surely. And you know what? You had your way. It's okay.
Yep. All good. All easy from there for NIP. Just USPs this round. It's going to be even easier, Lauren. Although a Deagle is purchased by Kirby right at the end. So, I mean, this is as crazy as it sounds. If there's like one more reset when the next gun round comes out, if North can't win that, then all of a sudden like NIP is within striking distance. So this is kind of the theory. Instead of looking at it as those 8 rounds that you have to win in a row or 7 rounds to win in a row, if you take it 1 round at a time as you just win like the 2 critical resets, all of a sudden you can close the gap here. And we're seeing NIP do it at the moment. force that OT. It's a stack on Rap side for North. 4 players there. Kirby over towards the B bomb site all alone.
It's a big old stack. They boosted, what, 3 players? Well,
Yes.
well, the Tower of Doom still stands.
The bomb's in alt mid though, so someone from NIP is gonna have to go get that.
I think they've just realised as they all kind of go, oh, all right, off we go. Pack we pop. Dennis, Forest, both going for it. Forest being the bodyguard, and Dennis being escorted back towards the bomb site. Now, if you're North as well, you're very confused as to what these steps are probably, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really make much of a difference. No one really coming towards that side. Forest going to get a good view here. Does get the vast majority.
That
And
third
just
one was
Kirby.
nice.
It was. It's a weird time in the world where you still get surprised by something nice coming from the likes of Forest, isn't it? It's like, it's been a quiet game for you.
Yeah. Yeah, he's I mean, to be fair, none of them until recently have really done anything to write home about.
It has been very
Subdued.
grey across the board, you know? It's been quite bland.
It's hard to judge. I mean, when you even go back to the first half, they just never had any nades to play with on the CT side. So it's like everyone's just getting battered, and they have no chance in some of these fights. Second half, we're starting to see him come alive. Get Right's had that great double kill. Seen Draken and Raz both some nice shots. 10 to 15, first real test. Well, first real test in this comeback kind of for NIP.
What a scoreline to look at for that to be the case as well. It's like, all right, finally we get our chance. We've got good utility. Nice. What's the score? 10 to 15. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
We can't make any mistakes.
Yeah, 0 mistakes. Yes. Always fun to try and make happen. And you've got to hope that North don't do anything individually ridiculous that you just can't bank on, which can still happen. So let's look at what we've got here. It's a little bit of a different look, and it looks like maybe NIP going to try something new out as well.
If you're NIP, you have to at least be happy you were able to stop all the pressure from North. The first few gun rounds of this game, or of this half, was North just pushing everywhere on the map and challenging down Banana, challenging down mid, challenging in A halls. And now that that's not happening, it allows at least some breathing room for NIP to be like, all right, can we finally do those things we practice? Thank you, North, for allowing us to set up and do some of the strats that we've worked on.
'Tis kind. 50 seconds now on the board as we do see North start to ready themselves for that final kind of push, but still potential to go anywhere they want. No picks given. They're going to be hard fought for. If Rez steps this corner, we might see the first real exchange go down between him and MSL. But beyond that, quite reserved play from both sides. We get to the 30 seconds. Gets a little bit trickier. Smokes go up towards A. AZ and Valde prepare themselves as MSL holds the angle still, waiting patiently. Flash comes up and over. Excuse me, Smoke even. And he takes the fight. Great work from MSL, reading the play. And again, looks a little lost from NIP. They're not being given chances here, maybe. That's what they were expecting, but it's Dennis to break in. Finally finds AZ and Get Right to follow towards MSL. But here's the ace up the sleeve. Here he comes. It's Valde again to strike so perfectly. Good tag towards Dennis, but he needs the job done, and he gets it. Exceptional play on the 3, and he wants even more. It's Kirby in support, but what a way to round this one out. North looked great, and Valde looked phenomenal as well.
Valde was unreal in that last round. What an incredible sequence from him. If you're NIP, I'm just looking at the clock the whole time. They took like 30 seconds to actually execute that strategy to below 20 seconds on the clock. But either way, Valde's the highlight here for North. North's looked good in spurts here and there in rounds.
There were moments. Yeah. There were different moments. You can see how that could backfire against other AWPers or other teams. But for now, I guess, again, all eyes on NIP. Is this just an unlucky start, poor economy from the start that never got building? Or was this North looking to prove a point? So many questions still up in the air about this team, and so many more games to be played in this group stage.
Yeah, you know who can answer those questions will be our analyst test. Take it away, boys.
Vodafone presents the post-match.
Lots of questions to be answered. Yes, indeed. That's Pansy and Moses there guiding you through the game. North do take it versus the Ninjas in Pyjams. Potential comeback for moments there before the Danes do seal it, or Valde certainly seals it, but definitely a shining light for North in that one. So let's try and complete the story then. We started our kind of pre-match by stating there were a couple of questions we needed answers to. One was, how does Dennis gel with the team? Do NIP bring something, a new look to the team? We'll come back to that. And of course, North, we asked about how Kirby and Mertz were continuing their progression in an offline environment. Which one do you want to tackle first, Yanko?
There's hope for North.
Okay.
Not as much for NIP.
Whoa, 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 whoa. There's a couple of win conditions that go into a best of one, and North ticked all those boxes. They won both pistols. They're assertive and aggressive. They put NIP's money in the bin in the first half. It could just be a slow start from NIP, Yanko.
Could.
It could.
Well,
You're not gonna run with it?
why?
I think it's just because all the glaring issues that NIP had with the past 2 or 3 rosters, they're still there. It's still being very timid on your CT side, mostly going for those default setups. When you want some aggression, that's now up to Draken with the op, go banana, try to get a pick, or let's even go for a double op, you know, in the second gun round with Rez picking it up. There's no coordinated, you know, let's try and take control of the banana, send 3 players early, then leave just 1, let's go for a pop flash mid, do something. And those are all the things that you saw from North in the second half.
But, Yanko, they won a couple of pistol buy rounds.
Yes, okay, right, yeah, but your tone is clear there, Chad.
And it's the same on T side. You look at some of those gun rounds, it's like you're watching the old Fnatic with what they're trying to do. That round that they just won before they lost the game, it's a pop flash through the smoke in mid. It's what old Fnatic used to do. It was their bread and butter almost. So that's obviously not the way you're going to win games anymore, because Fnatic will still be the best team in the world if that were the case. So I think, unfortunately for NIP fans, what we were talking about in the pregame is, yes, Dennis is a good player, but he does not change or doesn't not, you know, fix some of the issues that NIP had as a team. That's still evident. Now, whether that's going to change after some time, I don't see why it would get better with time. Maybe if they realize it at some point and start actually trying to play a different style, but otherwise it's looking pretty grim.
I mean, to be fair, devil's advocate here, we have seen, you know, North have had more games. A lot more Counter-Strike has been played with their 2 new additions that we have seen from NIP. They've played 3 maps. This is the 4th.
Look, I was really impressed with North and their approach. Yanko touched on the things that NIP weren't doing that North were doing, and they were very assertive, very aggressive. And a key factor is when your 3 stars, Valde, AZ, and Kirby all show up on the scoreboard, that's fantastic. Valde being able to carry through that through. Not only is he just being a rock for the team, a clutch player, you know, an anchor, he was actually showing some aggression and entry frags. And on that first half, 7 out of the 9 rounds that they, you know, had success in, they found the opening kills, right? Well, I know they won 10, yeah, I did my maths wrong. They won 10 rounds.
Yeah, but it's also like, if North lost both pistols, they would still probably win the game. They would probably win one of those force or eco buy rounds. You could see it even here in the second half. I can't remember which player it was pushing gaps. He gets a pop flash. Like, you don't
Teamwork,
see teams usually do that. Like, they play for each other. They do things as a team, or, you know, in 2 or 3-man squads, while NIP is just mostly based off of individual play, those default setups. Everyone holds their own spot. Especially against a team like North, you cannot play like that on the CT side. You cannot give a guy like MSL free map control almost and just let him execute on you. That's what he wants. So if you're not able to switch your style against a team like North, which is so obvious, you need to try to disrupt them when you're playing the CT side. And I don't have much hope for NIP, and I won't like give in to the excuse, yes, they lost pistol. It doesn't matter if you lost pistol or not. There's a way that you need to play regardless of the score. Otherwise, what happened was we were not 3-0 down, we were 5-0 down. And well, what have you achieved? Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, North, of course, their hard work as well as NIP's shortcomings did bring them a 10 rounds on the T side of Inferno, which is very uncommon in kind of this tier of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. So I think there have to be some negatives to highlight with North in the sense of Mertz is still a very young player, and you can see some questionable decisions. There was a round where they were retaking the B-bomb site against Pistols. All 3 A players were coming through Banana. Mertz is the only player with an AWP. He takes the close choke point with the AWP leading when the 2 rifles could have easily just come up or they could have boosted it on something, and he's just given his life away, and then Valde has no option but to save. And then like a couple of picks and stuff that he probably shouldn't have gone for. But you want to have a player like that get his confidence. I can understand, but not good early signs.
Also on the CT side, you know, round where they just reset NIP and you know that they're going to force. Yes, he was surprised by the op on Draken, but he goes for that aggressive peek into Banana. It's like, if they have pistols, you can also get punished for that. Like a 1-for-1 quick trade, you lose out on that as well. So I agree. Let's for starters be easy on him and chalk it up to inexperience perhaps, and maybe a bit too eager to prove
To
himself.
improve, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we get to see more from both of them. Both of these teams now, from here on out, and Katowice will be playing them best of threes. NIP thrust to the lower bracket, and North keeping their head above water. We're going to be jumping into another best of one next, though. You have one more to look forward to before the best of threes do commence, and it's going to be none other than the French G2 taking on VP without Mr. Taz. Mihu filling his shoes here on home soil. We'll see how that works out for them and talk all about it after the break.
Intel Extreme Masters.
All eyes are on you.